by the MMA rules. 3 rounds, 5 minutes. Sponsor of the first fight is AbuDhabiWarriors.com. It's happening the first time in the history, United Arab Emirates. It will be 2nd of November, Abu Dhabi National Exhibition Center, ICC Hall. In the blue corner, 22 years, 70 kilos, 177 centimeters, 5 wins, 1 loss. Coming from Serbia, Milan ZerjalSerbia. In the red corner, 20 years, 70 kilo, 176 centimeters, 3 wins, 1 loss, coming from Chechnya, Arbi Mezdihov.
Well, my bad. From Chechnya.
Okay, gentlemen, any questions for me on the rules? Protect yourselves at all
Arbi
times. Listen to my words of command at all
Mezdihov.
times. Keep the fight away from the ropes. If I say stop, you stop. Touch gloves. Let's get ready for war.
Giving the fighters their instructions. This bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
You ready? You ready? Let's fight.
Milan ZerjalSerbia from Serbia takes on Chechnya's Arbi Mezdihov. So, from the get-go, a lot of focus from these two fighters and huge prospects. We've seen Arbi Mezdihov on the WFC cards before. Mezdihov, very capable on the mat. He'll want to go down as quick as possible, but Zerjal takes a right hand, stumbles back. Referee doesn't count it. Both fighters having a look-see. Great front push kick from the Serbian fighter, Zerjal. Using the ring well, Mezdihov. Great lateral movement, really drawing in Zerjal. Zerjal needs to have a care because Mezdihov just stopped there just to have a little trade. Neither of them in too big a rush to take this to the mat. It's interesting because Mezdihov is a real expert when it comes to going to the ground. Big right hand, and again, Zerjal needs to look out for that. Worth mentioning that Milan ZerjalSerbia's father is Jovan Zerjal, who's one of the first pioneers of BJJ in Europe. So a lot expected of him. Lovely takedown, goes into cross mount. Zerjal trying to control from the side. Trying to maneuver over the right shoulder of Arbi Mezdihov. And there comes the knee strike, and that's a powerful strike. This is a really good dominating position, and Arbi Mezdihov has really got his work cut out here now. This is joined up fighting, it really is, and Mezdihov is the one that was expected to really be dominant on the ground, but Milan ZerjalSerbia, very creative. I love the knee strike. So still controlling from the side. Mezdihov trying to squeeze out from under and bring a leg across to force that single guard. Zerjev just on top of being held in a half guard. Zerjal really working to get on top for some ground and pound. Starting to put the pressure on. Mezdihov really struggling to contain Zerjal. Zerjal told WFC fans that they should expect the unexpected from this fight. Well, we've certainly seen some creativity, and from where I am, ringside, I like the cut of his jib. The work rate really exemplary from Zerjal. But open guard, stomp kick, he comes through, and that was careless of Mezdihov. Mezdihov takes the stomp kick, and Zerjal able to follow through with a punch. Back into that side control, full mount, very, very cleverly executed. Well, a BJJ brown belt, Zerjal has spent time at Extreme Couture in the States, and you can see that's paid off. The ground and pound, inching forward, really putting pressure now on Arbi Mezdihov. Just catching his breath. That training in the States really paying off. Only the Americans have taken pound and ground to its nth degree. They're real masters at it. And look at this, every opportunity, Zerjal in there, and this is going to be a long night for Arbi Mezdihov unless he comes up with something creative. Zerjal working flat out here. The work rate absolutely up there in stellar quantities.
Keep working, last
10-second clapper, and this has been an early surprise for Arbi Mezdihov. Stop. And there's the bell. And at the end of the first, fantastic round. But Milan Zerjal really controlling right from the very get-go. So Zerjal's father in the corner. You can see him, Jovan, one of the first people to bring BJJ into Europe. And always when your dad's in your corner, there's big expectations, not least tonight. So Arbi Mezdihov fighting out of the City Dome gym in Austria. Taken this fight against his manager and trainer's advice. It has to be said. And this just might be a bridge too far for Mezdihov. It's worth mentioning that he lost at Challengers 2 to Leonardo Zecchi. Zecchi was a very useful fighter, the most unassuming MMA fighter I ever saw. But he's got back in training, focused up. He took a win against Nikolai Negre at Challengers 3, a TKO. Good with his hands, Mezdihov, and he's going to need that to advantage because Zerjal clearly is a master of the mat. And beat him to the punch there. That left hand found the target. Zerjal walked into that. Well, it looks as if Arbi Mezdihov can keep this upright. Then he could start to take control in this, the second round. 2 of 3, 5 minutes each. Very, very close. Fast and furious on the inside. Mezdihov looking to keep it upright, moving very well laterally. So the pace has slowed just a tad, and it would have to have just eased up a little bit. The pressure was just relentless in that first round. Well, just look at the moves. Beautiful launch there to take top control. Big spread from Zerjal. And this is submission territory for a BJJ brown belt. Well, he's got the choke on. Can he lever it? And this could be very, very bad for Arbi Mezdihov. His day in the office didn't quite turn out the way he wanted to. Milan Zerjal working, keeping that lock on, but manoeuvring into position. Beautiful jump into full mount and back to the ground and pound. Zerjal so creative. This is really good work, and this could be a very, very telling time for Arbi Mezdihov. And the corner shouting that Mezdihov has got to work, but Zerjal is the one that's putting in the hours in the office. Zerjal really, really levering with that front left leg to keep enough lateral and upright position to make sure that he's not thrown from that mount position. There's the stomp kick, narrowly missed. And he's in a guillotine position here. And he twists the turn out. Oh, and that was unfortunate. For a second there, Zerjal was in complete submission territory. Just a slip, a fraction of an inch, and he lost his grip. But that could have been the beginning of the end. Well, a turn of fortunes for Mezdihov. He survived seemingly the worst Zerjal can throw. Now, has Zerjal got the pace? Has he got the strength to carry on? He goes to the ground, double leg shoot, but Mezdihov, big wide spread, brings it back to the upright, keeps it upright, and takes Zerjal down again. This time, Mezdihov with the guillotine. Can he get the legs round? He's got the guillotine on. Well, this is going to be a telling time for Zerjal. He's got the guillotine. Legs are locked. Can't quite hold it. The leverage isn't there. And that was unfortunate. Mezdihov had to release. And in that full guard, Mezdihov manages to twist into that side mount. Mezdihov brings in the single leg, half guard.
Keep it away from the ropes, guys.
10-second clapper. That was a slightly better round for Arbi Mezdihov, but Milan Zerjal in very much the driver's seat here.
Stop.
At the end of the second, this is going to be a war of attrition between these two fighters. Well, the action here is absolutely incredibly technical, as we saw in the second round, and we might see in the slow-mo. Milan Zerjal in a perfect position with the choke. Twisted out, but had to let go. Arbi Mezdihov had a full guillotine on, had the legs locked in. But again, too close to the corner, too close to the ropes, couldn't get the leverage. But so far, Milan Zerjal dominating this and in total control. But the capacity for punishment that the Chechnyan fighter has, Arbi Mezdihov, is immeasurable. Third and final round, the last 5 minutes in this first fight on our card here tonight at WFC17 Olimp live. Milan Zerjal of Serbia takes on Arbi Mezdihov of Chechnya. Just to remind you of the figures here, Milan Zerjal, 22 years of age, 70 keys, 177 centimeters, got a record of 5-1-0. Arbi Mezdihov, 20 years of age, 70 keys, 176 centimeters, and a record of 3-1-0. So far, I've got Zerjal ahead. 2 rounds. Mezdihov is going to need a KO, a tap out, because from where I'm standing or sitting, I don't think he can pull it back. This has been a very, very technical fight for Milan Zerjal. He really has introduced some very clever skills. This time, Zerjal using the ring. He's felt the right hand of Mezdihov, and he felt it again there, and he wants to keep out of the way. So a nail-biting, nerve-wracking last 5 minutes for Milan Zerjal's father, Jovan, who's his cornerman and coach here tonight. Good kicks, good low work. Mezdihov goes to the ropes. And there's the body slam. Tanya Toshi, valley drop. And the strength Milan Zerjal brought to that. Still juice in the tank. And again the side control position. Finding that dominating position with ease and then making the full mount. So some cross face now from Zerjal, making life difficult for Mezdihov. Can he make a difference in the ground and pound? Still in that control position, not managing to launch an attack there, but did then. And the hands come through thick and fast. And look at this. Mezdihov managing to push up even though those blows coming through thick and fast. Some crossface. And this has been a real tough night for Arbi Mezdihov. Good solid connections here from the Serbian fighter. And Mezdihov just manages to lift enough to keep out of 70% of what was coming at him from Zerjal. Zerjal summoning up the energy here now, really
keep away from the ropes,
drawing on the reserves to try and finish this strongly. And controlling from the mount. Another stomp kick. Over round the back. Oh, and this is where things could turn very ugly. Has he got the arm through for the rear cartoid? Well, Mezdihov lifts his leg to let Grant Waterman know that he's still in control. But the choke is on, and a brown belt in BJJ will not let this through. Mezdihov trying to slip, and I can't believe it. Milan Zerjal has slipped that lock. He's got it on now. Legs locked in. Stop. And that's the tap out. Rear naked choke. It was a brave effort from Arbi Mezdihov, but he's tapped out. What an absolutely last-minute drive from Milan Zerjal. His father, Jovan, into the ring to lift his protege up. Huge effort from Arbi Mezdihov. But as I said, on the night, a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not, from a rear mount, going to let his opponent go when there's chance for a rear naked choke. Absolutely bare skills, it has to be said, from the young man from Serbia. And just look at the pride beaming from the face of his dad.
The winner in the first match in WFC17 is, from the blue corner, Milan ZerjalSerbia. The winner because of verdict choke.
So So gracious in victory.